Imagine arriving in a new city with nothing, no home, no money, no connections. A local, seeing your plight, offers you half of everything he owns: his house, his garden, his wealth. What would you do? Most of us would jump at the offer, but one man, upon receiving this incredible proposal, simply smiled and asked, "Just show me the way to the market." This wasn't just any man. This was Abdur Rahman bin Awf, and his story is one of the most remarkable tales of entrepreneurship and faith in history. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into the life of a figure whose business acumen was as legendary as his generosity. A man who built an empire from scratch, not by accepting handouts, but by understanding the fundamental principles of trade, trust, and the true purpose of wealth. His journey from a penniless refugee to one of the richest men of his time offers timeless lessons for anyone looking to build, innovate, and lead with integrity. When Abdur Rahman arrived in Medina, he was a muhajir, one of the early Muslims who had migrated from Mecca to escape persecution. His host in Medina, Sa'd ibn al-Rabi, was one of the Ansar, the local helpers. Moved by the spirit of brotherhood, Sa'd made that astonishing offer: half of his entire fortune. But Abdur Rahman politely declined. He wasn't looking for a shortcut. He was looking for an opportunity. His request, "Just show me the way to the market," was a declaration of independence and self-reliance. It was the first principle of his business philosophy: opportunity is more valuable than charity. The market he was directed to was the market of the Banu Qaynuqa tribe. It was a bustling, competitive environment. But Abdur Rahman didn't try to compete with the established merchants in high-value goods like gold or fine textiles. Instead, he started with what he could afford and what he knew would sell quickly. His first venture was in trading simple provisions: clarified butter, known as ghee, and cheese or buttermilk. These were everyday essentials, high-velocity goods that didn't require a huge initial investment. This brings us to his second core principle: focus on cash flow. He understood that in business, liquidity is king. By trading in goods that sold fast, he could reinvest his small profits almost daily. A little profit today, reinvested for a little more tomorrow, and a little more the day after. This compounding effect, fueled by rapid turnover, was the engine of his early growth. He wasn't waiting for a big win. He was accumulating hundreds of small, consistent wins. He worked tirelessly, starting early and staying late, embodying the discipline required to turn a few silver coins into a growing enterprise. Soon he had saved enough to get married. When the Prophet Muhammad noticed the scent of perfume on him and asked about it, Abdur Rahman explained he had just gotten married. The Prophet smiled and asked what dowry he had given his wife. Abdur Rahman replied, "The weight of a date stone in gold." This small detail shows how far he had come in a relatively short time, from having nothing to being able to afford a dowry of gold, all through his own hard work in the market. As his business grew, so did its complexity. He wasn't just trading in Medina anymore. His operations expanded, involving caravans that traveled across different cities and regions. This introduced a new challenge: cross-city risk. How do you trust partners you can't see? How do you manage transactions over long distances in an era without digital banking? This is where Abdur Rahman's third principle came into play: building a system of trust. He was meticulous about his dealings. He insisted on written contracts for his transactions, a practice that wasn't always common but provided clarity and legal security. This wasn't about a lack of faith in people. It was about creating a professional framework that protected everyone involved. His reputation for honesty and fairness preceded him. People knew that a deal with Abdur Rahman was a deal you could count on. He didn't just sell goods, he sold reliability. In a world of uncertainty, his name became a brand synonymous with integrity, which was a far more valuable asset than any commodity he traded. But here's what truly set him apart. For Abdur Rahman, wealth was never the end goal, it was a tool. His business success gave him influence and standing in the community, but he never let it define his identity. He was a leader, not just in commerce, but on the battlefield and in the council of the early Muslim state. He funded expeditions, equipped soldiers for battles like the expedition of Tabuk, and was one of the key advisors to the caliphs who succeeded the Prophet. His wealth was a resource for the community, a means to strengthen it, defend it, and support its most vulnerable members. He saw himself not as an owner of wealth, but as its steward. This stewardship was put to the ultimate test as his fortune grew to unimaginable proportions. The stories of his wealth are staggering. On one occasion, a single caravan of his arrived in Medina with 700 camels, all laden with goods, causing the entire city to tremble. When Aisha, the Prophet's wife, heard the commotion and was told it was Abdur Rahman's caravan, she recalled hearing the Prophet say that Abdur Rahman would enter paradise, perhaps crawling due to the weight of his wealth and the accounting he would face for it. When this was reported to Abdur Rahman, he was deeply moved and shaken. The idea that his wealth could be a burden on his soul, a barrier to his salvation, was a profound spiritual crisis. His response was immediate and decisive. He went and gave away the entire caravan, all 700 camels and their cargo, in charity, for the sake of God. Think about that. A fortune that would be the highlight of anyone's life, he gave away in a single moment. Because his connection with his faith was more important than his connection with his assets. This wasn't an isolated incident. He was known for his immense charity. He would free thousands of slaves. He would donate huge sums of gold and silver. He once bequeathed a garden that was later sold for a price so high that it was used to support the families of the Prophet's wives for years to come. He was in a constant struggle, not to accumulate more money, but to free himself from its grip. He seemed to fear his own wealth, once saying, "I fear I am being destroyed by my wealth." He was actively trying to get poorer through giving, but his business acumen was so sharp that his wealth often grew back even faster. So what can we learn from the story of Abdur Rahman bin Awf today? His journey offers a powerful blueprint. It starts with the mindset of seeking opportunity over handouts, the modern equivalent of learning a skill instead of just taking a grant. It's about understanding the power of cash flow and starting small with high-velocity products or services, just like a modern startup finding its minimum viable product. His use of written contracts and building a reputation for integrity is a masterclass in risk management and branding. In our globalized, often anonymous digital economy, trust is the ultimate currency. Your word, your reliability, and your ethics are your most valuable assets. But the most profound lesson is about our relationship with success. Abdur Rahman shows us that wealth is not a scorecard, it's a test of character, a test of responsibility, and a test of our priorities. Are we owned by what we own? Does our success serve us, or does it serve a greater purpose? He teaches us that the ultimate goal isn't to die rich in assets, but to live rich in purpose and impact. His story is a timeless reminder that true wealth lies not in what you accumulate for yourself, but in what you contribute to the world around you. Thank you so much for watching. If this story inspired you, please hit that like button, subscribe for more content like this, and share your thoughts in the comments below. What was the most powerful lesson you took from Abdur Rahman's life? Until next time.